What? Sebastian's not my name? My name is... Hi everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the Emily Not M podcast. This is a podcast connected to my fiber arts persona, Sebastian Sloane NYC, and my name is Emily Not M. I don't like to be called M. My name is also not Sebastian, so that is pretty crazy news to a lot of people, and we'll get into that later. I've got my notebook, pretty. I love soup. I don't actually know about this book, but I bought this notebook. So we're gonna introduce ourselves first of all. So hi, I'm Emily. I am 26. I am from New York City, and I work in an advertising agency as my day job. So that is who I am. The top I'm wearing is the Star Top or Star Girl top by Janie's Daisies on Instagram. It's a paid for crocheted pattern that's made to measure. This is the only modification I made. I added this chain here to cinch under the boobs, and I added these straps instead of the straps suggested in the pattern. But it is a pretty easy pattern for beginner crocheters who are looking to make a top. The back is a mesh design, and yeah, my backdrop. Anyway, it's pretty cute. So I like it. I made it to wear to a football game between my college and my brother's college, and my college's colors are blue and yellow. So I went for a more abstract take because it was my birthday weekend and I wanted to stand out. So fun. Anyway, so I really like this top. The blue yarn comes from Knitty City. It is Plymouth yarns in probably their worsted weight, and the yellow is from Michael's. It is a 4-weight acrylic. And it's fine to work with. I'll live. And this leotard is from Parade, because when the Gen Z and Gen A TikTok kids start bringing back galaxy print, I'm like, I was there first. I am a zillennial and I was already wearing that. So already wearing it now. Yeah, so let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the big question. How did I get the name Sebastian Sloane NYC for my Instagram / brand? What? Sebastian's not my name? My name is Emily? How crazy is that? Yeah, so basically, Sebastian and Sloane were my brother and I's almost names. So we were not named those names, but when I was a kid through to now, I always liked them. They're really good names. And if you've ever seen Cruel Intentions or La La Land, those are two of my favorite movies, and they both feature Sebastians, and I just like the name Sloane. It fit really nice. I was also almost named Summer, but Sebastian Summer sounds like a summer of like some guy named Sebastian, so I wasn't really going for that either. So anyway, that's where those names come from. So no, my name is not Sebastian. Contrary to the popular belief, it is Emily, and I do not like to be called M. Please do not call me that unless you are my coworker. Thank you. The next thing that I think is a good question to answer is, how did I get into crochet and knitting? So we can go back really far. I went to sleepaway camp, love camp, big fan of sleepaway camp. And at my camp, we had a big art shack with a bunch of different types of arts and crafts to do. And we would have a period of the day where we would go to the art shack and break out into groups based on what we wanted to do and work on our arts and crafts. The problem was that getting into jewelry was very competitive. People were fighting to go there and make bracelets. And like, don't get me wrong, like I love bracelets, like they're cute. Like I wear all these bracelets. I'm a clique. I wear all these bracelets, but yeah, like I'm not here to fight with everybody. So I would sometimes go to the fiber arts area and knit or crochet. I don't remember what I could do, but I was just like, I don't need to like deal with this today, you know? So I did learn that, but then I did not stay. But of course, during the pandemic, I got back into crochet. I started with garments. I have been sewing for a really long time, since middle school, but in like garment making, like I could succeed at drag race sewing challenge if I had more time. But because I only hand sew, I don't sewing machine sew. But like I could succeed better than somebody who doesn't know how to sew and has never made a garment with my construction skills, but I wouldn't be able to do it with my sewing skills. You know what I mean? But then during the pandemic, I got into crochet, and that was good and fun, and I really enjoyed that, and I still do, and I love my crocheted pieces. And then I also learned how to knit because I was the algorithm got me. Knitty Natty. If you see this Knitty Natty, hi, we met. That's pretty cute. But anyway, like that's why I knitted. I was like, I could do this. Like, she's so normal, and she does this all the time. Like, anyway, so I got some rough yarn and some wooden needles, and I pushed through it so they wouldn't fall off the loops. And you know what? You can just pick up drop stitches. It's literally so easy. So anyway, what was I so afraid of? So yes, so I've been knitting and crocheting, knitting since 2021, crocheting since 2020. All right, before we get into some more fiber art stuff, we are going to get into some of my interests outside of fiber arts. Who is Emily, not Sebastian or Em? Who is Emily as a person? Me? Let's get into that. First, I love musicals. I thought I would just make a list of some of them. I've probably left some off of this list, but this is the list that I came up with to start. Please agree with me in the comments. Chicago. Oh, this is in no particular order. No particular order. Chicago. High School Musicals 1 and 2. Les Mis. Gypsy. Mamma Mia. Camp Rock. Burlesque. Hairspray. Grease. Pitch Perfect. Mulan. La La Land, I don't know if I already said that. In the Heights, Beauty and the Enchanted, and Frozen. Those are just some of my favorite musicals. And I'll give a special shout out to our boy Sebastian from Cruel Intentions, a non-musical. Are there any other non-musicals that I really like? I don't really watch that many non-musicals. Television, I watch the same shows over and over again a lot, as many people do. So I will list out some of my comfort shows that maybe we have the same one and you want to talk about it. We have Pokemon. I watch Gen 1. I will watch Gen 4. My favorite is Gen 6. And I will watch Journeys, which is like the most recent last season that they did. But I know Serena ends up with May, but Serena and Ash are so cute. Anyway, they're so cute. Love them. And like, oh my god, I hate Dawn's Piplup. Anyway, it's just a game. What else? Glee. I love Glee. I'm a Gleek. This is my Jack Vanek Glee that I'm wearing. So I huge Gleek. I do have some Glee inspired pieces in this apartment. Well, one, but it's here. Up next, I like to watch competition reality shows about arts or crafts. So I really like Blown Away. I like The Great Pottery Throwdown. I like Drink Masters. I liked one of the HBO Max flower shows, but there were two. I love Kellis's show. That one's really good. So I don't like anything where they try to make you cry and they're horrible, but that will segue into my next one, which is RuPaul's Drag Race. I know I just said I don't like competition shows where people are mean to each other, but I like live between like seasons like 1 and 7. Like I watched up to 10 when they were on, but I've watched the recent ones up to I'm halfway through the donations all-stars, the charity all-stars, but I like give me Willem, give me LaShawn Beyond, give me Alaska, give me Coco, you know what I mean? Like some of the, I'll just stop naming people. So I love some early RuPaul's Drag Race, Nina Flowers, basically everyone in season 1. So I really like the old seasons. That's what I watched. The music from the lip syncs, like that's my workout music. So we love it. So I like RuPaul's Drag Race. What else do I watch? I love Daria. So if you've never seen Daria, like you should go watch it. It's on Paramount Plus. And if you are not familiar with Daria, they basically took a woman writer, asked to take, and then got permission to use a girl character from Beavis and Butthead, which was an MTV show about these two dumb guys. And they made this whole show about Daria, and it takes place at the end of the 90s, beginning of the 2000s, and it is the funniest show ever. It is a cartoon. Love that. And the art style is so good. So I really like that. Very, very good. Check out season 5, episode 1, or season 2, episode 1. Those are probably the best episodes of the whole show. Then I watch Gossip Girl. I don't even need to elaborate. I love Gossip Girl. I watch the Food Network. I like Guy Fieri. I like Beat Bobby Flay. I'll watch anything with Bobby Flay. I like Scott. I like The Kitchen. Oh my God, both Jeffs. Big fan. Sunny, love her. I like everyone from The Kitchen. What else do I watch? The Bold Type. I watch that with my mom, but I don't watch it all the time. I just really recommend it. I think it's a very good show if you're like in your mid-20s. Freaks and Geeks. I love Freaks and Geeks. My music taste has definitely been influenced by Freaks and Geeks. It is a really good show. If you've never seen it, it has like every famous person in it, including a Jason Segel. We have a Seth Rogen, Busy Phillips. We have Linda Cardellini. She's Velma from Scooby-Doo in the live action movies. If you know her from that, she's fab. And the last show I'll talk about is Bones. Because I really like the whole thing, Booth and Bones. So that's really cute. So those are all the TV shows I watch. I talked about that for long enough. Next section, I like to watch YouTube. I'll keep this short. I watch Pokemon, I watch chiropractors, and I watch fiber arts. However, on this account, right, my Sebastian Sloane NYC YouTube, I don't follow any of you back because I already follow you for a long time on my other account, and I don't want to mess up either algorithm because I don't want to go to log out of YouTube because I want to watch a crochet video, like to a different YouTube account that's only for crochet. Like I'm not doing that. So I'm keeping those things over there, and this one will have an empty algorithm. I hope that's okay with you. Thank you for understanding. Next, video game. I'm a gamer girl. So I play a few video games. So we'll start with the non-Pokemon games first. I have a Wii, which is fun. I love the Wii. So if you want to be my friend, I have a Wii. We can come over. But I also have multiple DSs and Game Boys and a Switch. So I play Style Savvy for the DS and Fashion Dreamer for the Switch. Fashion Dreamer is not a direct remake of the DS game. They took a new take, and this one has online communication, so you can dress up with other people and save designs to other people. It's really it's really fun. So if you like fashion games, you'll like Fashion Dreamer. It just doesn't have any updates. Like there's no goals. It's just dress up and fashion design. So if you don't like that, but if you like an Animal Crossing for the decor, or like The Sims for the outfits, like you would like this. And then I do play Pokemon. So let's go from device old to new. I play Leaf Green all the time. I am playing my first Fire Red and my first Emerald playthroughs right now on cartridge. I have Diamond and Pearl. I've played Diamond and I have Pearl for the DS. So I'm doing my first Pearl playthrough, but I'm not really playing it. It's very slow on the game, the DS, and I have Brilliant Diamond. Anyway, so I have played Diamond on the DS though many times. Then I have Brilliant Diamond, which is one of the best Pokemon games ever made. It's literally insane. A 10 out of 10 game. And I have Let's Go Eevee, which I love. Love that game. And I have Sword, which I'm doing my first playthrough of. So, and I play Pokemon Go from time to time. But those are the games I play. So if you play any of those games, hit me up. I also watch most videos that I find Pokemon related, playing through Fire Red, Leaf Green, or Diamond and Pearl. So I'm very interested in those two timelines there. We have 2 more non-knitting and crochet hobbies left. So these I'll make quick. One is thrifting. I love thrifting. I go to eBay, I go to my local thrift stores, I go to the Goodwill website, I go to the flea market. So I buy random things from people on the street with their little displays. Like, yeah, so I love thrifting. Big fan. I have a lot of clothes. I'm not wearing anything vintage today, but I will sometimes. And non-vintage thrifted items. Fun. Love that. And then I also do arts. I went to an arts high school, so technically, legally on the books, I can draw and paint. I don't like to sculpt very much, and I'm not qualified as a photographer. I never took any courses in that, but I do take a good picture. I'll take you a good Instagram.com. So anyway, let us get into the less well-lit part of the video where we talk about some knitted and crocheted. Okay, I have eaten and took a break and such. So let's get back to it and what have I actually been doing this week since I filmed my first video and started tracking what I've been doing. Okay, to start us off, I have one finished object. That finished object is this little hat. It is a freehanded from a picture, hand knitted hat made from the blue yarn is leftover acrylic from Michaels, and the orange is a Plymouth yarn wool acrylic wool blend from Knitty City, which is my local yarn store on the Upper West Side of Manhattan in New York City, where I'm from. Anyway, it's a cute hat. It has this little thing. The problem is when I decreased the square centers from 3 to 2, it cinched a little bit too much. So it doesn't do exactly what I want, but it's really cute and no one else has to know. Did I take off my eyebrows? No, it did not. So yeah, this hat completed. Fun. Next up, we have the project. Nope, let's do yarn acquisitions. My only yarn acquisition is I have had email notifications on for a certain color of the Ice Yarns cotton palettes. Paillettes. No, I'm kidding, it's not that. But the cotton palettes yarn from Ice in the colorway that is a purple thread with multicolored sequins. This is their sequin yarn. I used it to make the Eve dress by Le Pull. I held it double strand with another piece of cotton. But I did use this yarn to make the Eve dress by Le Pull, and I am thinking about making something with it in the future, which I will get to that after the next section. So that is my only acquisition because I was going to buy no yarn, but I had email notifications on for this for many, many months, and they have not restocked it. And not only did they restock it, it was only a limited quantity, and it was on sale. So I was like, you know what? I'll buy the yarn. So I did buy that yarn, and I will link the yarn in the description of this video, but it might not be that exact color if it's sold out. I will link the whole yarn. Overall, you could buy what is in stock. But I do recommend this yarn. It was really easy to work with and the sequins are not scratchy at all. What's next? Okay, I have 2 whips to show you all and I will get them and show them to you. The first whip is the very, very beginning of one of those cats that you make by folding 2 squares. Well, one's a rectangle. You fold up a square. So I am making that out of this very lovely yarn. It is the Hobbii, what's this thing called? Metallico, Hobbii Metallico in this dark red color. It is very nice and I'm excited to work with it. However, my fingertips are very, very rough right now because of the next project I'm gonna talk about. So I've not like loved working on this because the fluffs get like stuck. Anyway, so the next whip I have to talk about is the RIGATA tee, and that is designed by Gudrun Fesl, F-E-S-L. I don't know if how you pronounce that is correct, but I will be referring to the designer as Gudrun Fesl. That is how I'm pronouncing her name. Anyway, this is the design I have split for the sleeves. So as you can see, the front of the stripe is skinnier and it gives that very interesting illusion quality, which I very much enjoy. I am also loving the ombre noro. I do have 2 balls, so I will not run out, I don't think. I did check the yardage on the sweater. And this does fit. I've tried it on. This fluff. It is from eBay. It is a Bernat 50% acrylic, something like 15% wool, 20 something mohair, 20 something wool, whatever. It's mostly acrylic and mohair. Let me tell you that this stuff is not nice on the fingers. This is like when they talk about scratchy wool from the 80s, they're talking about this stuff. This is very nice. This feels like rough, but it's nice. It's very nice. Like it's not like, oh, it's soft. It's 100% wool. It's like not like merino, but it's so nice to work with. And then this guy is like, however, I will give this credit that it stays place. And I have dropped stitches, but I didn't even drop them basically because they were so well held in. They just stayed up. But I will talk one thing about this piece, which is, because I guess I've never talked about it on this channel before. So the only modification I made is the original neckline uses a twisted rib and incorporates the short rows into the ribbing. However, I did a folded over neckline, a double folded one, and then just did the short rows in the pattern that is the rest of the sweater body, so just in the stockinette. And then I did the first stripe, which is where the pattern begins and the neckline ends. So it's the only change I've made. Besides that, I've been following the instructions for the smallest size. I am using 4mm needles instead of 4.5mm, but I do think the yarn I'm using is actually thicker than the recommended yarn. So it all maths out and it fit me anyway and whatever. So I'm really enjoying this. This mesh, I can like feel how scratchy this is through the mesh, but I don't give a frick. I don't give a frick. I'm so excited. They're opening that museum again, actually. So those are the 2 whips that I did work on in this past unit of time since I started keeping track to write up the script for this video. Okay, what else do I have for you all? I have the last section here. We're at the last section. We are at the future plans section of the video. So right now I have 3 ideas that I want to consider. The first one is, you know, those 90s chokers that are the twisted stretchy thread, and you know what I'm talking about, very like grunge vibes, but then they came back in the mid 2010s and everyone had them when I was in high school. So anyway, I can make those, right? Those are super fun. What if I made like a flesh colored turtleneck that had that in the turtleneck? I don't really know what that would be for. Maybe it would be like a dickie. Like that could be really useful actually, because you could wear it under a lower cut top and stay warm, but then it has like an accessory attached. I don't know. But I just thought that would be funny, so I thought I would bring it up. Like, it would be fun to make for the lols. Like, not everything has to be, like, a thing, you know? Then, the next thing is, so, I would like to make a micro short set. And part of that is I would like to make a video talking about micro shorts. However, I'm a little bit nervous to do so because I know there are a lot of popular YouTube videos and content creators who have made tutorials and patterns for micro shorts. However, when I make them, I always add short rows. And I would like to teach everyone how to do that, but I don't want to be insulting everyone's patterns who didn't include short rows. However, I find that short rows are vital to the micro shorts experience if I want to wear them outside. So let me know if you want to hear about that or if you have any opinions. Like, is that like an attack on anybody? I don't know. Hopefully it could help other people modify existing patterns. But then, like, if the designers were to go back and change the pattern, are they copying me? Like, anyway, you get the point. So we'll come back to that. But either with the multicolored sequin purple ice yarns, or I do have 2 balls of Party Deluxe in light pink. I don't know if that's the name. It's a light bright pink, and 2 balls of the Hobbii Party Deluxe in a light blue. These are a sequin yarn. However, the difference between these and the Hobbii yarn and the ice yarn for sequins is that the ice one has mixed size of sequins on the ball. So it has big and small sequins, which give it a much more interesting illusion in my opinion. The Hobbii one only has small sequins. So I don't feel like it will have like the oomph, you know, that I'm going for. So we'll see when the other yarn comes in the mail. The other thing is like what will be the jacket, you know. I'm also thinking that maybe I do micro shorts with a top and a vest, like a long vest with the sequin yarn all in one color. But then it's like, what am I doing? Like performing at Gov Ball, like going to Trader Joe's. My Trader Joe's actually got marked as the most scary like Trader Joe's in the world. So, or the city, I don't know, whatever. Scary Trader Joe's. So the sequin yarn at some point may become micro shorts. And the last thing I am considering doing is I would like to take the Nordic pattern sweater, the 440-4 Nordic stripes pattern, I think is what it's called, or Nordic print, that everyone has been talking about. It is, if you are not familiar, I will link it below. It is a mixed pattern patchwork sweater done in 2-color color work. It's done in stranded color work, and but it's not like a crisscross, you know. It's like this one's this big, and then this one's this big, and the next one's this big. So it's all very cool and mix and match, right? And I would like to do this in a vest. However, only one of the shapes in her sweater like really appeals to me, which is the hashtag. So I have drawn out a whole bunch of shapes. And so I'm going to do a whole bunch of math and see like what works out the best and how I'm feeling about it. But depending on how all of these go, I would potentially merge all of these graphs. I hand drew all of them in a notebook with graph paper, and I'm going to test knit and crochet them. But in theory, I would probably sell all of these as a collection in a book with written information on how to make them into an existing pattern. However, I'm not personally interested in writing a graded pattern and meeting gauge and blah, 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 blah. Like that, like I'm going to pick the yarn I want and go from there. So if we get to a point where I'm grading a pattern with math and blah, 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 like I love math, but I like math that I can do once and be done with it. So we'll see what happens if I write a pattern, but more likely I'm considering writing a book with all of the graphs or a PDF for an ebook or whatever. So we'll see what comes of that. And yeah, that puts us at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching my video. Again, if you are new here and you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. You can also leave me likes and add me to your podcast playlists and whatever you do. But there will definitely be more long videos for you to have on while you are doing your knitting, crocheting, or other fiber arts. And yeah, that is what I've got for you. Stay tuned for the next one and let me know what you want to hear below in the comments. I am definitely interested in doing a video where I review not everything that I own that I've made, but everything that I've made that currently lives in my tiny apartment in New York. Because if it made the cut to live here, then it's, you know, it's really good, right? Like I wear it regularly. So that is on my radar. But anyway, let me know. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.